Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to Vermintide 2. It's a first-person action game that you might know. It's set in the Warhammer world, like the Warhammer Fantasy universe, just before they rebooted it, like during the Apocalypse event and actually caused it to be rebooted. Hello. Aww, it's Chaos Marauders. Oh, they're cute. So yes, this is a bit different from my channel, but the main reason I'm covering it is because I love this game so much. Like, I love this game a lot. I may be slightly addicted because I was a massive fan of the Left 4 Dead games. Those of you remember them? Basically co-op zombie fighting games where you'd run around as a team, you'd try and get past like zombies. There'd be special zombies with special abilities you try and survive against. Hello. Bye-bye. Aww. He's dead. And this... Oh, take my ultimate. There we go. This is pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go so close as to say that it is very similar, but of course more modern and updated and in the Warhammer world. So we are fighting generally Skaven, which are like these kind of bestial rat people, and also Chaos, which is of course the all-pervading evilness that kind of corrupts and turns things bad. Which, to an extent, Skaven also kind of worship an aspect of. They kind of worship the horned rat, as opposed to the Force Chaos gods. Right. So, it's a pretty cool thing. Like, I am a fan of Warhammer. Not a massive fan of Warhammer Fantasy. Oh, hi. And I absolutely adore... Oh, that's a full ammunition thing. I'll pick it up. I absolutely adore the Left 4 Dead games, and this is very, very similar. It's designed to be played co-op. I'm playing with 3 bots at the moment, just so that I can talk and stuff and not have to worry too much. We're playing the first level, Righteous Stand, mainly because I know it pretty well. I also know where a lot of the special stuff is on this level. And because I've got so good... Oh, hello. I wanted to talk about you. That's a special. That sound sounds so familiar. It sounds like Left 4 Dead. I think that some of the stuff is... Oh, it's a horde we've got. Yeah, it's got a horde. So these are specials. That was a special there, and that was a special over there. I think that was a gas rat. They throw like globes of gas that explode and do poison damage in an area. This was one that like leeches, so it like sucks your life out and holds you and drags you towards them. A lot of them, you'll notice, have aspects that like lock you down and require your friends to help you. Here we go. Wait, you're not a horde, you're one person. There we go. So a lot of the moves of these specials are like designed to try and suppress. There we go. Have my ultimate as well. One person, and then make you work cooperatively to try and free each other. I'm playing the Elf, the Wayfarer class particularly. Corellin is the Elf. The Wayfarer is one of her 3 subclasses. This here is a tome. I know I'm going through a lot of the things in the game very quickly, but tomes are allowed to be picked up by anyone, and they take a slot in your inventory. Now, you've got slots you can see down the bottom above my health bar. 1, melee. 2 is my bow. Let's see, I change between them. 3 is the tome. 3 is actually the healing slot. So normally 3 is where you'll put like a healing potion or something. A tome is actually a way of increasing the difficulty level, which is kind of cool. Which I really, really love about the Vermintide games, is that they're just like, yeah, you have difficulty levels. I'm playing on Veteran right now, which is a 2nd difficulty level, just so I can do it with bots. Bots are terrible at Champion. Really bad. And I can choose to take this optional extra bit of difficulty, which will give me an extra score at the end of the game. So by picking up a tome, I've elected to, like, block off my healing slot. Oh, let's shoot this guy. There's a headshot. I'll have my ultimate, why not? The animations are so cool, like, they've got different animations for when they're hit, they don't just instantly ragdoll. There is dismemberment, so if I try to... There we go, oh, the legs, oh, ho, ho. This is a potion of concentration, that takes up the 4 slot. Like, your alt potions, like, they alter your stats, like strength potion, speed potion, and concentration potion. Those go in the 4 slot, which is also occupied by grimoires. We'll get to them in a minute. So let's go up here and spin this. There's actually like 5 classes. They call them classes, right? They're like 5 different characters in the game. You've got Sienna, who's the mage. You've got Kruber, who is the Empire mercenary. You've got Bardin, who is the dwarf here. And then I believe there is one more. I think it is the Witch Hunter. I can't remember the name of the Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter is actually the first subclass. Okay, we need to hold out here while this comes down. I missed. What? I'm a terrible elf. All the different subclasses have kind of different things that they specialize in. For instance, I'm playing the elf, Corellian. 3 different subclasses. First one is the Wayfarer, which we're playing right now, which is a shooty class. Then you've got second class, which is Handmaiden, which is more specialized in like hitting people and moving around a lot. She's like a mobile kind of almost semi-tank, depending on how you build her. Then you've got the Shade, which is like an anti-special. Has ability to go invisible, which is a little bit bugged. The game does have a few bugs. They're not like anything super major normally, but there are a few. Oh, Plague Rat! That's a special. Oh, Plague Rats, if you recognize Warhammer Fantasy. Oh, that's another special over there. Blightstormer. It does this Blightstorm effect, which goes and... Oh, hello. Another Leecher. Like, you saw it briefly there. Like, there's a tornado of, like, green that appears and sucks you in. Does damage and then throws you. Oh, there we go. Just get rid of all these rats. Come on, rats. Oh, hello. And you can have different weapons on each different class. So, like, I'm using the spear as my melee weapon. There are several options with the Wayfarer. Like, you can use sword and dagger, dagger. Oh, no, Blightstormer. There we go. That's the Blightstormer effect. Oh, they killed it. I was hoping for it to live, like, so you can see what it does. Let's get in here. Ammo chest for ammo. Right. And I've elected for the spear because the spear is more difficult to use because, like, if I attack, stab, stab, swipe, stab, stab, swipe. Not as good as anti-horde, but if I block with it and then hold attack, I shove, knocks people back, and then slice in a massive arc. It's like 135 degrees, so it hits a lot of people. Oh, Armored Skaven! Yes, these are another special. They have armor and it's really hard to hit them, you know, when I was hitting them there, like, it was bouncing. That's because I wasn't doing any damage, because my light attacks don't get through the armor. Also, nobody opens doors in this universe. You just smash them. You don't need doors. Doors are a lie. Oh, there we go. Armored Skaven. I was trying to get him to hit me. Oh. Either way. I love this game so much. Like, look at how much effort has gone into these levels. My bots are being fairly competent. Right, there we go. Stab, 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 stab. You can kill specials by nice charged up arrow shots. My ult with Corellian is... That's a lot of them. Okay, shove, slice, shove, slice, shove, slice. My charged up ability, like my ulti, it's not called an ult. I call it an ultimate, but it's not. Is to fire off 3 homing arrows. Oh, that's a gutter runner. Assassin, I think. Oh, how did I miss those? There, where? I definitely saw the assassin. Where's the assassin? Assassins, again, they like jump on you. If you remember the hunter from Left 4 Dead, you can hear it around here. It jumps on you, locks you down, and does damage as it starts stabbing you. So again, it's another one that's required for like your friends to come and help you. That's why it's a very cooperative game. They've designed it to be like, there we go. Oh, it's gone. You saw it for a moment. Oh, this is like kind of a mini boss special. Not like a proper boss. It sounds like several Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors are like fully armored. Very, very hard to injure. Have a lot of health. Hit really hard. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about grimoires, which is the thing that takes up your 4 slot. So, up here is a grimoire. It's like a tome, but it's kind of cooler, because unlike a tome, it takes up a slot, but it also reduces your maximum health. So my health bar will be reduced to, like, normally it's about, what, 66%, but I've got an item that reduces that. Now, there we go. To pick up the tome over here, the grimoire over here, you do this, you jump up here, and you're like, oh, I can pick up the grimoire. Or you can cheat and highlight it and then jump. And if you jump and press E, you can pick it up. I'm not gonna pick it up. There you go. Because I want to pick up the second one. Ah! What? Who did that? That was Sienna. She loves fire. Okay, the assassin's still around here somewhere. I'm not picking up that Grim, because I want to pick up the next Grim. Grimoires. Grims for short. It's a really cool idea that you can optionally take a grimoire to increase your score, but it reduces your maximum health. I just love that design, and I know a lot of the stuff I'm saying right now applies to Vermintide 1, but for some reason I never played Vermintide 1 because I am an idiot. I should have done. Oh, Sienna killed it. Good job.
I think he's dead, Lumberfoots.
Charged attack! So yeah, you've got a light attack and a charged attack. With a spear, they get more complicated because mine vary between, like, where they're... Oh, hello. Headshot on you. Ah, didn't headshot, I think. My ult charges up so quickly because I've got, like, level 30. Yeah, I'm a level 30 character doing this level on Veteran. It's a little bit easy. But the part of the reason is I want to explain, like, everything as we go, and I've got a full team of bots. And bots are pretty bad. Oh, hello. Healing potions! I can't get healing potions, so I'm just going to tag them, wait for the bots to pick them up. I'm missing so much right now. Good job, me. There we go. Just keep stabbing. Ah, there we go. Grab it. Another one that locks you down, but also removes you from your friends. A bit like the jockey from Left 4 Dead. Ow, I got hit. Aw. A lot of people complain that I'm blocking too much with the elf. Normally the elf should do dodges, which is like that, to get out of the way of attacks. You know, something like suddenly moving sideways. The Wayfarer does that a lot more. With a spear, you kind of want to block. Part of the reason that you get the spear is it has an amazing block angle. There we go. The spear blocks like 180 degrees around, whereas most other weapons block like a small cone in front of you. Right.
Medical supplies.
Another healing item, medical supplies, you can use them to heal like a friend, which is great. I actually can't heal myself. I've got an item that stops me healing myself, but it allows me to just get heal over time, which is why my health has been going up a little bit, if you've noticed. Medical supplies can be used on me, though, because I'm not using the item. Someone's using it on me. There we go. Headshot. Ah, hello. That's a circumstance in which my ulti is very useful. 3 Plague Rats dead. Plague Rats are annoying because they have 2 knives and they... Oh, good kill. They just like go and hit you loads, which means that your block goes down very quick. Because when I block, notice there's 4 shields. If someone hits me, the shield goes down. You get a damage shield. Then it hits you again, it breaks the shield. So you've got effectively like 8 hits you can take. If I shove, it costs 1. If I shove and attack, costs 1 as well. There's an assassin around here. Do you see it there? Right.
Eyes that gleam in the dark. Assassin.
Oh, Gunner. This is another special, but they're really annoying. There we go, just ulti out that door. Yeah, gunners are really annoying. Rattling gunners have like this Gatling cannon that they carry that fires like warp stone fragments, and they will murder you. There is a small bug with them that if they like get their weapon half into terrain, their bullets will just pass through all terrain. It's frustrating as hell because you can't hide from them. This is where the second tome is, FYI. So you like drop down here, grab the tome. I already have a tome. My bots aren't going to pick it up because they prioritize healing over tomes, which is silly. I'd prefer them to have tomes because they don't need the healing because I will protect them. Maybe if I'm feeling kind, once on a Tuesday, whatever.
Crude shot, but crude shot is better than none.
No one to shoot here? Okay.
Help yourself to ammunition.
What about turning that tree? The cannon might be just what we need.
Hi. Yes, I'm being very wasteful with my shots. Like, you wouldn't normally play the Wayfarer like this, except the fact that... Really? I hit with those first two. Oh, they got stuck on the ladder. Except for the fact that I have, like, a lot of ammo. I've got perks that, like, allow me to get extra ammo on headshots. Barden's around. Barden's ability is in his first class as the, Hunter? Can't remember what your first class is. Drops... Oh. That gong is... There's a wave coming. Drops extra ammo. So if you've been seeing those small things on the ground of, like, ammo, that's because of his special ability. Where's this wave? Strangler, so that's like the grabby one that like has a noose that grabs you and takes you away. Who's got stuck there? Yeah, that's not often a big issue, but I think here it is. Unit pathing is a little bit weird. Oh, you know what? Have an ulti. There we go. Just keep killing. Oh, there we go. Oh, what the hell happened there? Something bugged out.
Nice work, Mayfly.
Now I'm using the longbow, which passes through multiple units, has slightly less ammo than the short bow, does more damage, more arm piercing. Actually, I don't think it does that. Does it do arm piercing? I think it does arm piercing. Okay. Let's activate the cannon. Whee!
Take whatever ammunition you can carry.
I'm trying to pick up... I can't pick it up because I'm on a ladder. I can't pick up on a ladder. Whee! Boing.
This is the door.
No one out here? How weird.
There's the temple.
Hi! That last one didn't cost me a shot because it was a headshot. There we go, full ammo again. Headshots don't cost me ammo because I think my bow is like got special... Yes! Right, so this is one of the like the mini bosses, like the semi-demi bosses. They're not like the full bosses that you get at the end of like a chapter. But it's a rat ogre, so it has lots of charging attacks. It does knockback. It can injure you through blocks, so it will still do damage even if you block it. Right now, we're probably going to make mincemeat of it because it's kind of stopped in one place, and I am doing insane damage because I am level 30, which is a max level. There we go.
We're not out of this yet.
Normally, they can be quite frustrating, especially if I was playing with people, maybe higher level, maybe we're playing on champion. Notice the hook rat actually kind of semi-passed through that door, so I could see it was a hook rat. That was helpful. What are these? Medical pats? Hey, 2 medical pats. That's quite nice. Armored Skaven. Oh, missed. You know what? Have my ulti. I don't care. Right. So, this is where you find the second Grim on this level. Not there. I fell down. I didn't mean to fall down. I'm really good at jumping puzzles, FYI. This might take me like 10 seconds. It might take me like 10 hours, so... I think I got stuck on the Skaven. Oh, God. Okay. You know when you block? You can block behind you, but it costs twice as much stamina. So when I dropped down there, I blocked. I actually blocked people attacking behind me. You could tell by, like, the impact. But it also costs twice as much stamina, so I couldn't block after that. Like, my stamina had ran out. But this shove ability is so good versus hordes, because notice how I can just get out of a horde like that. Part of that is because I am, like, level 30, max level character on veteran, so my character is quite well equipped for this. Oi. But more importantly, other than level, is your power level. Now, power level is separate from your level. We'll probably talk about that when we get out of this level, so I can show you my character stats. Level just determines if you've opened up, like, extra traits. There we go. You jump onto there. Jump onto there. Jump to there, and then jump in here. Hi. Well done for TPing. You've ruined my plan entirely. Pull that lever. And then... there we go. And this is the second Grim. Every level has 3 tomes and 2 Grims. I'm going to pick it up and watch what happens to my health.
Was acceptable.
Boop. Now, notice a chunk of my health has been took off, and it's just like, you can't have this. His maximum health now is lower. Normally, that would be a lot more. I've reduced that because I've got an item that reduces curse. Curse resistance reduces the Grim effect, because the Grim inflicts curse on you. This is going to be fun. I always suck at this part. Ah! See, I fell down. I fell down every time. Ladders in this game are frustrating. One of the few things I'll say about this game that's just not particularly well designed is ladders. They have the same effect they have in games for decades. In first-person games, they're just terrible.
I'm glad Adaloth isn't here to see me use these worthless arrows.
Alright. Next. Now, the way levels are designed, there are certain sections you can't go back past. Oh, also you can do things like this and be like, ah, I've got a barrel, it's on fire! Oh, hi.
I don't trust this quiet.
And now I can't go back.
Scanners are rattling everywhere.
I think there's an armored escaping patrol behind us. I can hear clinking. Warp fire throwers. They're flamethrowers, but for like warp fire, which is like this green flame stuff. What the sound is that? Another warp fire? Or like a Gatling?
This way.
Oh, at the bottom of the screen, by the way, you see my health? There's a white bit. White is temporary health. Oh, hello, mini boss. There you go, you died. Temporary health disappears over time, but it will act like health. Like it will be taken off by attacks and stuff, rather than your health. Now, this is the 3rd tome on the level. We've seen 2 tomes. This is the very last one. Boop! There you go. 3rd tome. Just need to walk blindly through some bushes. Do-do-do-do. Hello. Headshots do a little bit extra damage. I think it's like 25% or 50% extra damage. I think it's 25. Ooh, assassin. There we go. See, I got assassined. He jumped on me, locked me down, and stabbed me. My friends were right next by. No, right next by? Right next door.
Medical supplies. Over here.
Chaos warriors.
Chaos Warrior?
Look at
Chaos Warrior! Hello!
the
Notice that my shot didn't do damage to him because it hit him in the shoulder, not the head.
Another draws near.
Is that assassin? Yeah. But my ulti did, because my ulti's amazing.
Filthy bandages. Can we do no better?
The elf is a bit of a bad rep in Vermintide 2. I didn't know. When I picked the elf, I was just like, I need a class to play with people. I don't know what they do. I don't know anything about Vermintide. What have people taken? People have taken some of the other things. I'm going to take this horde here. There we go. Dead. And I was just like, you know what do they do? And they're like, oh, well, the elf is a range class. I was like, sure, we don't have a range class, I'll take that. But the elf has a bit of a reputation for being the carry. It is good at killing off a lot of things. It also does a little bit of kill stealing because its ulti is a homing attack. Oh, like this. For instance, the warp fire thrower there is easy to kill. I didn't actually get the kill, though. Barden did. But you can still do melee pretty well with it if you get used to the spear, just because the spear's so good for what it does. You know, some people prefer the Bardiche. It's called the Glaive. I think it's actually a Bardiche by design. But that's mostly because it's just similar but arm-penetrating. Doesn't have as wide an attack, though. Doesn't have as wide a block. Doesn't have the same amazing slicey shove. But it does just generally have less stabby attacks that only hit 1 or 2 targets. The spear, though, my god. You see how I'm stabbing people at super long range? Like, I can stab that door there. See? You hear the sound? That's the sound of me hitting a door. As opposed to... I've got a good range with the spear, so you can injure people way before they get to you normally.
Make ready. We'll be busy soon.
That is a bug that happens every time.
Drag the bell. Let it ring
Not
nice and
on repeat going up the stairs, apparently, though. But every time I've passed in here, you get to glimpse the bottom underneath there, which is weird. It's only a brief one, though. Okay, now we have to just survive a horde, which is always kind of fun. Now, in my 5 slot, I have a bomb. I haven't actually used it. Does a bit of damage. But more importantly, it kind of temporarily stuns the target. Useful for things like Chaos Spawns and Rat Ogres, which are kind of those semi-bosses I was talking about. They're bosses for all intents and purposes, really. Because they stun them, and there are some of their attacks which are really dangerous that you want to stun them in the middle of, like when they grab someone. Chaos Spawn grabs someone, starts eating them, regens health from it. So if you can stun them, that stops. We just need to survive here now.
now that.
That is what is a Globadier. The Globadier is dead, but it does do this like area denial poison. You can go in it, it'll just cost you health. Some of the other classes for the elf aren't quite so, you know, poorly renowned. Like, it's mostly the Wayfarer. The Shade, I'm not a massive fan of. I like the idea, but I don't like the execution because it's got an ability which is invisibility, which is nice, but it's bugged. Sometimes when you use it, it instantly ends. And normally when you need it, it's in dire circumstances, like I need to get my friend before they die. Because when your friend goes down, they will collapse to the ground, they'll start getting hit, which will start killing them. And you need to get to them before they get murdered. Or they die for real. You can pick them up later in the level, which is great, because it means that, like, if you're playing with friends, your friends don't sit there going, I've got nothing to do with the rest of the level. Bad Warp 5 throw. Yeah, homing arrows are great. And the problem is, because you want it in the circumstances... Oh, hook rat! If I noticed a hook rat, I could have stabbed earlier, because I knew it would be running towards me. Hopefully they'll fix that in a future patch, but it is kind of one of these frustrating things for now. I'm not as massively a fan of the Handmaiden. Her ability is just like a dash. A very fast regenerating dash ability. She has, I think, like a slightly bigger dodge range or something. Honestly, she doesn't bring much to the table over the Wayfarer. And the Wayfarer's ability for that ulti, which just targets people, you can fire that around a corner, by the way. I fire it here, it will seek someone around the corner, which is great. Especially against things like Gatling rats, which are painful. Very, very painful. Oh! Poison rats. Plague rats. My bots are being quite competent. Look at that, they actually killed a special again. Oh! Oh, missed. And that is the end of that wave. There we go. Ah, hello. This is the other bug. Where are you? Sometimes the bots get stuck drinking potions permanently.
Make use of it, Dory.
I think Sienna's doing it because I can hear Sienna. There we go. Oh, hey rats. Kill a few. I'm out of ammo. But a lot of people are just going to be like, you know, the elf is all about that bow. And yeah, no, the bow's great, but the spear, oh my god. I just want to say how much I love the spear. It takes a while to get used to because you have a weird attack pattern of stab, stab, slash. But the ability to do that shove attack is great. Normally you don't have as many stamina shields. These shields, by the way, are called stamina. Normally you don't have as many. I've got +2 because I have an item. Alright, let's end this. Also, don't normally do this because it will kill you, but at this point on the level you can drop down. Normally there is full damage. If you're falling into the end zone, I don't think there is though, which is why you can do that. Don't try and do that normally. It will kill you. That taught me some bad things. I was like, oh, you could do this, no full damage. And then I died at some other point in the game because like, oh, there's no full damage. Oh, my leg. Ow. Just bad. Very bad. So yeah, level 30 is the top level. You can't go past level 30. You will keep going through level 30 over and over again. Every time you max out your level and go to the next level or go through level 30, you get a coffer, like a loot box. When you finish level, you also get a loot box, and that quality of that loot box is determined by your stuff here. So I've got a merchant. There's normally a quick play bonus if you're quick playing. I'm not. You get more for more tomes, more grims, and also if you get these random things called loot die, they're like random drops. My bots didn't do too badly, actually. Look at those. They're not doing too badly at all. They got more melee kills than me. Just one person. Nobody went down. Now, depending on the difficulty you're on, saves and revives can be weird. So when I say you go down, you start getting hit, and then you die, and then they have to find you later in the level and get you back up. There is also a thing where if you go down enough times, you will then perma-die and have to be brought back later in the level. And that changes depending on the difficulty level. I think on Champion, you're allowed to go down once, and then the next time you go down, you will just be dead. So you can't get saved from the ground. You have to get pulled up like late in the level. Now we're going to go back to the keep. This is effectively like your home, where you do your missions from, nice where you pick things. So I've actually got the collector's edition, so Statue of Sigmar right there. Hello. Not that it makes much of a difference. And we have a few other rooms like a smithy, where you can do pretty much everything you can do through the main menu. Like I can go over here and create things. I don't know I'd want to because I can create things here. This is the only thing that really matters, and this is loot boxes. You can't buy loot boxes in the game currently, although looking at it, I'm like, will that be a future thing? You can't buy loot boxes in the game currently. There's like no micros there. So what you can do, though, is open some loot boxes. For instance, I have commendation chests, and I have this merchant's coffer we just got. Commendation chests you get for leveling up. Every level you will get a commendation chest. If you go through level 30 over and over again, you also get a commendation chest. We're going to quickly open this, and I'll talk about the mechanics of the like leveling up and the loot boxes. So, you get 3 items. I've got 2 greens and a blue, which means that I've got a rare and 2 uncommons. The way it works is you've got commons, which are white, uncommons, which are green, rares, which are blue, and then you've got oranges, which are exotic. So they're the super rarest. So let's open our rare. We have a trinket. So you've got like 2 slots. I think one is like a charm, one is a trinket. And this is 173 power. Now, power overall determines like your damage you do. Right now, I have 145 power trinket. So this would actually give me a little bit more power and a little bit more damage. It's got respawn speed and stamina recovery. So the rate at which my shields regenerate, that little block thing. I like the one I've got. The one I've got, you can see it's orange. It's a nice one. Let's look at this. A longbow. Ooh. And another trinket. So, if you have a common, you'll have a trinket which says power so-and-so. If you have an uncommon, it will have a property. One property only, which is 14% stamina recovery in this case, or over here, 6% power versus Skaven, which means 6% more damage. In the case of rares, you have 2 properties. So we've got respawn speed and stamina recovery. In the case of exotics, you have 2 properties, the power level, and you get a magical special effect, which for my trinket at the moment is Grenadier. 25% chance to not consume a grenade on use. There are a few you can pull from for each different item. I believe there's somewhere in the region of like 4 or 5 each different item that you can get. And so I think I've got one that's like, Alexa, stop. Sorry, that's just going in the background. I just realized that you've got, there's like one that's like 20% chance not to use a healing potion. The one that I've got in one of my other slots is like you cannot use healing items on yourself, but you will slowly regenerate health. I tend to go for that on Grimoire runs and stuff, tome runs, because I'm holding Grimoires and tomes and I can't actually hold a healing potion. So normally I will carry the tomes and stuff and not be able to heal. I'll just heal naturally over time. Wayfarer is good for that actually, because the Wayfarer heals passively anyway until 50% health. Very slowly though. So I'm actually just a heal bot. with this character, which is great for just running around and carrying Grims and Tomes. Another reason that I'm like, the Wayfarer is great just because I can run around and heal without having to use a healing potion. So, those are your 3 things. I'm not really going to be using any of these, even though the power level's higher, because none of them are exotic. They don't have that magical ability, and also look at the properties, they're kind of eh. Property here, 33% curse resistance, is a thing that means that I'm not taking so much hurt when I've got a Grim. Note that it's not who's holding the Grim that gets less health, it's the entire party does, because the entire party gets a bonus for carrying a Grim with them. In this game, everything's basically party-wide. If your party's carrying Tomes, you'll get a boost. If your party's carrying Grims, you'll get a boost, which is great. I don't like the individual thing. It makes you compete in a team, and I think that teamwork needs to be 100% if you're doing it, which is why I really like this game. They've done it right. So curse resistance is great. It only goes up to 33. I take it because I always do Grim runs. Why would I not? Okay, because it makes it easy to pass the level, which, sure, that's a thing. But also, eh. Move speed is also nice, especially as, you know, someone who doesn't have a lot of health as a character. Also, if I can back up and do archery shots, nice. So move speed is useful. Also because I'm normally carrying a Grim, and I don't want to be in the bad position to getting killed. Because if you die, your Grim disappears, which is not good. Tomes, I think, drop if you fully die. Grims don't. Grims you can't actually drop. You can't physically be like, I want to pick this item up. I drop my Grim to pick it up. You can do it with Tomes. Can't do it with Grims. Grims bind when you pick them up. So if you die, you can't drop them. They just disappear. So don't die. Now, this longbow, you'll notice it has something at the top. Just below where it says longbow, it says Death Rain, longbow, illusion. An illusion is like a special look, which means that bow looks different to default longbow. I also have one on my bow. You can take them off with the crafting system, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Let's also open a commendation chest. Now, looking at this commendation chest, you'll notice it does say max power 300. This determines the max power level of the items you can get in a chest. And it's good advice if you're going to be playing the game for a little while, more than just, a little bit. Keep every single commendation chest you get, because when you level up from level 1 to level 2, you'll get a commendation chest, which will have max power level 300. And so if you open it then, you probably won't get 300 power level items. You're probably going to get like 20 or something. You don't want to do that because you want to be able to open it later when you'll be getting good items out of it without having to do, I believe it's champion difficulty that gives you max power level 300 chests. The max power level of the item you can get out of the chest is determined by the difficulty you get it on, or for commendation chests, because they're linked to your character level, not the level you just did, 300 for the commendation chest. Does that make sense? Now, there's a weird way this works. This is going to be confusing. When I open a chest, I shouldn't be opening this right now. I'm getting max power level like 175 at the moment. I need to be up that above 200, because 200 is the cap for veteran. Notice that I've got a rare and 2 greens. The rarity is determined by 2 things. Firstly, if you are opening a non-commendation chest, you notice how that the chest got upgraded after that level. It goes coffers, merchant, soldier, general, emperor, for 5 different types of chests there. The more you level up that chest, the more likely you are to get different rarities, better rarities. It's only a slight difference in my experience. There is a difference, but it's pretty subtle. The main thing is your character. The more chests you open with a particular character, not subclass, like character, so Corellian for me, the more likely you are to get rarer and rarer items. Now, bear that one in mind. That is determined by your character. The more chests you open, the more likely you are to get rarer and rarer items. However, the power level is not. The power level is determined by your overall number of chests across all characters. So if I go to one of my Diddy characters right now, and I open a chest, I'm going to get power level, 167, 170 level items. Because the power level is determined by the number of chests you've opened across all characters. Which is nice, because it means that if I'm playing Corellian a lot, and then suddenly I get with a group of friends to play a game, and they're like, oh, someone else is playing Corellian, you can't play the elf, play something different. The chests I open there will be the same level as I'm opening with Corellian, and I can play with, a team of people I've played before who are experienced without having to play a really crappy power level character. Because remember, the level of your character means very little in terms of your actual damage. Most of your damage is determined by your power, which is from the equipped items. I got a sword, which is an illusion and has an attack speed modifier. Attack speed goes up to 3. Notice, by the way, here...
around all day?
Yes. Notice in the top right on it, it says stamina, and then has a little shield, has a number, has an arc. 3. your 3 stamina shields. Remember, I have 3, but I had a 4th one because each shield is like 2 points, and I had a +2 item. So 3 stamina for blocks. The arc is the arc you can parry in, that you'll block in. Anything outside the arc, you will still block, but it will cost you twice as much stamina. This is why I prefer the spear. Look at that, 180 degrees. And I think I've got items which actually increase that, so I think I'm doing like, I can parry behind myself. The sword, you can't really parry a group as easily. And maybe that works for some people, playing a more mobile melee-focused class. As an elf, I'm shooting people when they get in too close. I want to be able to hold against a horde, because I'm probably going to be horded. Against one person, I can run away, I can let my teammates tank them. I'm probably going to get surrounded by a horde. At which point, I won't be able to block. I'm going to scrap that. Dual swords, plus 80% push block angle. That's what I think I've got on my spear, which allows me to get a bigger angle. And power versus chaos, Necklace, damage reduction versus chaos, Great if you want to tank. Probably not what I want on Wayfarer, but for some classes, damage reduction and plus health items are great. I'm just going to hit continue on these. I don't want them. I'm also going to, again, save the rest of my chest because they're max power level 300. I don't need that. I need, 170 items at the moment. I can do that with veteran chests. After I complete, veteran, and I start maxing out at max power level 200 and just getting 200 items out of max power level 200 veteran chests, I then will be like, right, I need to play champion or just open commendation chests, because both of those are max level 300. I said that there's peasant, merchant, soldier, general, emperor. That determines the rarity of the items to an extent. It's like a rarity modifier depending on how many you've opened. Doesn't determine the power level. Power level comes from the level you get it on, remember. So I'm going to close that. I know it's kind of complicated. I know I'm going through a lot of the mechanics right now. But I want to just talk about why I love this game, and also, if you're getting into it, why you should do certain things and not do other things. Yeah. So, if we have a quick look in crafting, look at these cool things we have. So, for instance, we've got a short bow. It's a Hagsbane short bow. Very low ammo. Very, very low ammo. But the Hagsbane short bow, when it hits, does like a cloud of gas, which does damage. I think it does poison over time. Yeah, damage over time, rapid fire, crowd control. So it's great at anti-crowd. I prefer the longbow, really. So little damage, so little ammo in the Hagsbane short bow, you can't really play a ranged player. Like, you can maybe play someone who occasionally needs a bow, but yeah. We're going to start scrapping this. So I'm going to keep that for probably my, handmaiden class, because she's a more melee-focused elf. So I won't scrap that immediately, but I will scrap this because my one is better. I will scrap these. I will scrap that. I want to keep the dual daggers because those are going to be pretty useful on my... Notice the horrific angle of block. That is entirely for dodging. You should not be blocking with dual daggers. I'm going to keep those. I'm going to put them on my shade, which is the dark elf, like assassin type elf class. This longbow, pretty nice. Problem is, it's an uncommon. It doesn't give me the headshot thing. It doesn't give me the 2 properties. So I'm going to scrap that as well. Elf spear. This I've had sitting around for a while, and it is a power level, like 40 more than the one I'm carrying? That's a good amount of extra damage. Notice my hero power over here. Power from hero level, 300. Power from equipment, 141. So your power level from your hero level is 10 times your level. I'm level 30. And the power level from your equipment is your equipment added together and then I think divided by the number of pieces of equipment, which I think is 5. So it's the average amongst your equipment, which is pretty low for me right now. That should be about 30 points higher if I was equipping top tier gear. The thing is, my top tier gear would not have, the rarity and thus the cool abilities that my other gear does. So I'm going to keep you. You, I'll scrap. And you, I'll scrap. So salvaging. Melt them down. And you'll get bits and bobs that you can use to make other stuff. So I've got weapon parts, scrap, green dust, which is uncommon, blue dust, which is from rares, and some gem cutter toolkit, which is from like the trinkets and stuff. We've also got stuff like in craft items. Crafting items is actually really, really good. It can be fairly cheap as well. So if I want to craft, say, a spear, it'll cost me 1 weapon part and 10 scrap. That's really good because it doesn't actually just make a common spear. It will make a spear determined by the rarity you should be getting out of boxes. And I'm getting uncommons and rares. This might well come out as a rare spear. So we're going to do it, because this is actually really cheap. Remember, my spear's behind the times right now. Common spear. We'll try it again. I'm down to roll the dice a few times. It's a very cheap ability, this. There we go, rare spear. You've also got reroll equipment properties. Reroll equip trait. That's for rerolling the exotic trait, like conservative shooter, that sort of stuff. Upgrade item. This upgrades the rarity. This is what we're going to be doing. So let's find one of our spears. It doesn't matter which one, because the properties, and this is one of the things that annoys me about this game, and I think I will be critical of. Upgrading an item rerolls properties, and it rerolls the talent, the trait that you get from exotic. Not that you can upgrade from exotic, but it means that these properties mean nothing to me right now. Like, I don't care that that's attack speed 3.6 and that's 4.8. That's +1 stamina. Great. I want +2, but, you know, +1, yeah, that's nice. Block cost reduction. It's still okay, but But these properties mean nothing, because when I upgrade it, they're going to get rerolled. So there's no point me rerolling an ability right now, because I'm going to keep it for an exotic. And we're going to make an exotic right now. So we're going to take the best one, which is a power level 173. That's not going to change. Power level is stuck. And we're going to upgrade it. And this costs 50 to upgrade from rare to exotic. I think it's like, it costs 20 to go to uncommon, 30 to go to rare, 50 to go to exotic, I think. We're going to upgrade. What do we get? 12 crit power, 22 block cost, timed blocks reduce stamina cost by 100%. Extract weapon illusion, apply weapon illusion. So you can take an illusion off an item and put it on another item. That's just for looks, which is pretty cool. But now, we're going to talk about the fact that I really want to reroll those traits. So, the parry ability, time blocks reduce stamina cost by 100%. For the one I've got on my spear at the moment, which is saying, like, if you come to an ally under aid, you both get, like, damage resistance. Heroic Intervention. Assisting an ally under attack grants both players a damage absorption shield for a short time. Great. Note that my current spear has 3.6 attack speed and 30% block push angle. I think 30 is the max on that one. 5% is the top for attack speed, so there's a little bit of room to improve, but that is a really good property, which is why I haven't changed it until now. We're going to then go to the equipment, and this will take a while. Yes, random NPC. Power versus Skaven and crit power. Again, I don't really care about the crits. What I really want is mostly defensive. I want a big angle of defense. And ideally attack speed, but I'm iffy about that. Crit power and attack speed. That's actually quite a nice weapon. But again, that's not what I'm looking for. If that was another class, I'd be totally down with those stats. But crit chance and crit power. That's a really good combination. Again, not what I'm looking for. I think you've got something like a vulnerable spot, which is like 25% more damage, and a crit, which is plus 50% damage, and crits is just like a luck-based thing. Attack speed and crit chance. Again, nice if I was going for damage, but I'm going to defense here. I need to have that extra range. Block, push angle, and crit chance. Again, only 16. I need to keep rerolling. Now, note that when I actually get the thing that I like I got there, 16%, I can't choose to keep it and just be like, can you just reroll the number? I have to reroll the entire trait, which means that this can take a while. And if it does take a while, I will start editing this video to skip this. 22% block, push angle, 8% power versus chaos. You know what? I will accept that for now, just for the purposes of the video. In future, I'd probably reroll a lot more because I've got a lot of this available. Boom. Notice that my hero power did go up by 8. Yeah. Effects. Damage dealt, number of enemies penetrated by attacks, and stagger level. Stagger level depends on, like, your enemy. Will they be slightly stunned by you hitting them? Notice I was running around a veteran when I was hitting people. Most of them were going, ugh. That's because I'm pretty high level for veteran. I should in theory, be playing champion, but I don't need to because, again, I'm still getting good kit from veteran boxes because I haven't hit power level 200 items. I'm still below 200. We'll use the new spear, and then we will also go to here, and I can't get rid of the old spear. This is one of the things that really bugs me about Vermintide, is that the crafting system has a few niggles. Like I said, I would like the ability to keep a stat and re-roll the number. I'd like the ability to, when I upgrade an item, I keep those stats. Even if I don't get to choose that, because I can re-roll those. I don't have to upgrade to re-roll those. I can do the two things separately. I don't want to have to be like, this is a nice weapon, it's rare, it's got nice properties. No use to me, because as soon as I upgrade it, those properties are gone. Which means that, you know, when you're at this level and you're like, I just want exotics. Because nothing else is really as good, because the ability is just amazing. For instance, if we look at the ability here, natural heal, natural bond. Passively heal regeneration, but no longer heal yourself. I have that. It's power 131. And I'm going to keep that until I get another one, because it's so useful for Grim runs. Also, it only has +2 stamina, plus 12% push block angle. But the 2 stamina is so good that I can't risk rerolling it. 2 stamina, I think, is the max you can get on the stamina one. But this here is my old spear. I want to get rid of it, because I've literally got the same thing but better now. The stats are a little bit, you know, properties are a little bit different, but whatever. I can't, because it doesn't show up here. The reason it doesn't show up here is it's equipped on another character. I want it to show up here, but with a box around it, which like indicates this is on another character. And when you try and scrap it or change it, probably scrap it, it says, do you want to scrap this? It's equipped to another character. I don't want to have to do this, which is go to hero selection, change to another character, confirm. This is the handmaiden, by the way. And then be like, right, let's look. I've got this spear equipped. Let's go to crafting. Equipment. Let's go to change that spear, then crafting. And then I can get rid of that spear finally, and I can salvage. Just make sure it's the right sal. Yeah, okay. And there we go. And we got some orange exotic dust. Lovely. I don't have to do that, because that is tedious, and it's hard to remember who things are equipped to. Spear, I know, because that's on my elf. The Shade, she's more about mobility, and daggers are her thing, because you want to try and build a crit. If you're building her for spear, you might as well just be building a Wayfarer again. So I know that the spear is only on 2 characters. But if we look at, say, charms and trinkets, this is the same for every single character. Every single character gets the same necklace, the same charm, and the same trinket. I would have to go through 5 characters, each with 3 subclasses, 15 characters, going hero selection, confirm, let's go to the Witch Hunter, there we go, Witch Hunter, let's go have a look at the items, let's unequip. Notice that these items are the same. Your items are shared across all your characters. And notice again that I have a power level 159. I've played like 4 games with the Witch Hunter or something. Like, he's level 3. But notice that his equipment, 159, common. This is common because this falchion you only get on the Witch Hunter. In general, the weapons are locked to your character, your class, whereas these items here are locked to everyone. So notice that these are exotics. I got them with the elf. I can equip them to the Witch Hunter. The Witch Hunter, however, has to have got his weapons from boxes that he picks up, or commendation chests. But because he's opening them, the power level is determined by all my characters. Hence, note that the falchion is pretty close to where my Wayfarer is, 159. But the rarity is determined by how many boxes he's opened. He hasn't opened many boxes because he's only played a few games, so it's a common. This, power level 100, I'll give you one guess where this comes from. This will come from a rookie game. Because on rookie difficulty, your max power level from the box is 100. So I probably played my first game with him, unlocked a crossbow at level 100, which is the max you can get out of that box, because I should be getting 150 to 170. And the game was like, right, well, you should be getting that, but your max in a rookie box is 100. So here's a 100 level crossbow. But again, I'd have to go through everyone, unequipping every single trinket and charm and whatever. I'd have to go through every character and every subclass to be able to then scrap it. I normally don't want multiple exotic trinkets and charms unless I've got very specific builds I'm going for. Which happens, so maybe I'd want 3 of each, but I wouldn't want 15 of each. And it's really frustrating that no one, when developing the game, was like, that's the thing that we should have. And it's just poor UI in that aspect. Everything else is really well polished, and I love it. And a lot of the Grims and the levels themselves are so well designed. Like, each level has 2 Grims and 3 tomes. And there are cool hidden places and side alleys and little things you have to go down, and you have to like carry this barrel of gunpowder from this point in the level to here and don't get hit because otherwise it'll explode, and then place it, and then you can blow up to get into an extra place. The levels are incredibly well designed. And if we show you how many there are... So if we go to mission... There are 4 missions in 3 chapters, and then doing all of them results in being able to unlock the final mission. I actually haven't unlocked that because I haven't done the war camp one. But you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 12 and then that 13, which, you know, Skaven love. Skaven love the number 13. There aren't that many missions. But I will say that they are so well designed, and because of the ability to choose pick up Grims, etc.,
That's right.
they are pretty cool and a little bit varied. And here's the thing. The enemies aren't scripted. Much like Left 4 Dead, there is an AI director who chooses to send things at you based on, would it be interesting? If you're all really low health, you're probably not going to get a boss. If you're already high health and doing really well, it's going to be like, yeah, cool. You can deal with a rat ogre. Or a storm fiend, which is like a rat ogre but with a little bit of armor and a big flamethrower. Or a chaos spawn. Or whatever. Or whatever being a bile troll. Ugh. And send you know this, that, and the other. Ways tend to be more time-based between them, but the AI director does sort of change things up, and each game will be pretty different, because the enemies aren't really determined by the level. The only exception is... Boop, 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 boo. These 3, which have a boss at the end, like a proper boss, and you will have to fight them, and they are quite tough. Because they're not like those mini-bosses like Storm Fiend, Rat Ogre, etc. They are proper bosses. But that's the only real exception. Everywhere else, most of the enemies are varied and change. Levels do tend to be like, this is a Chaos part of the level, this is a Skaven part of the level. But the actual enemies and when they appear and how they appear and that sort of stuff, that is entirely dependent. It can result in some weirdness because they don't plan enemies to be in certain parts of the level. They just have the ability to. Sometimes the enemies can do weird things like teleport or climb really high and scare you. If you're an elf trying to snipe from like the top of a church and you think, I'm being clever right now, and the enemy's suddenly behind you and you're like, that's a rat ogre on my face, that's scary. It is annoying, but I can see why, because otherwise you'd be immune to certain parts of the level. Also, look how like I can damage terrain. This, you can't destroy it. It's, you know, just like a wall or anything in this. It's solid. But look, that's just so cool. A lot of attention to detail is being put in, and I absolutely love it. It's so pleasurable to play, and playing with friends is a lot more fun. As, you know, most things are. I mean, like watching paint dry is more fun with friends, so, you know, nothing really new there. But the way the game's designed, much like Left 4 Dead, if you like Left 4 Dead, if you like Left 4 Dead 2, if you like Warhammer, if you like first-person co-op games like this, you will really, really love Vermintide. I think that this is a fantastic game. I've sunk a lot of time into it already. I've been playing it for pretty much every stream since I started playing it, and it is fantastic fun. So, yeah, I just wanted to basically talk about Vermintide, and I've only spent half an hour in the map. I've spent half an hour afterwards talking about mechanics. I know, this is a long video. I didn't actually think it was going to be this long. I thought, I'm just going to power through. It's probably going to be a 20-minute video. But, yeah. I've been EnterElysium. It's not really a review video, because I'm just saying it's just a great game. It's more like a discussion about why the game is awesome. I don't know how I'm going to title this video. That's going to be a fun one. But if you've liked, do subscribe. Check out the Patreon, you know, all that jazz. Also hit the bell icon, because YouTube's a... and if you want me to play more, play co-op maybe and record some videos, let me know. I've been doing a lot of co-op with people like Sheepy, Peachdog, Sheepy and Peachdog, Sheepdog and Peachy. I've actually managed to get Josh Gaming FTL to play as well. Played with Simply JXN on stream, and if you want me to maybe play more on stream, let me know. There is actually a Twitch chat integration function where you can just connect, and then Twitch chat can vote on different things that show up, including spawning bosses, which they do a lot of, or helpful things, which they don't do. There's also, again, I want to point out one bad bit of game design, which is blood loss. If you vote for that, it only shows up, only appears in Twitch chat. If Twitch chat votes for that, you will just lose health for like a minute. Which means that if you've got low health already, like for instance you've got 2 Grims on you, you just die. And while I'm all in favor of Twitch chat being able to screw over by spawning bosses, just a thing that lowers your health is just bad game design, and I just don't think it should be in there. I think straight up that is just that who thought putting that game would be funny? Yeah, it's a troll ability. Yeah, but troll abilities are fun when it's like, oh, you're making me fight another rat ogre. I've already fought like 2 bile trolls and a rat ogre and a storm fiend, which has happened. It's not fun to just be like, troll ability, yeah, you're losing health. There's no fight, there's no boring, it's just effectively GG, game over, or which I have done before, let's stand together and heal each other as you fall to the ground. And for 1 minute, you just have everyone standing in a circle going, I heal you. Health goes down, I heal you. Health goes down, I get you up from the ground. There's nothing really fun or interesting about it. I straight up hate blood loss. My chat, when we're playing, and it's mostly me and my chat, we have an agreement not to use blood loss. If blood loss comes up, you can't vote for it. When I have Peachy and Sheepdog and stuff, and they taunt chat, it's basically a free-for-all, which means that blood loss happens. And it's unfortunately one of the more boring ones. So I do think there are a couple of things wrong with this game, but it's like, when I'm talking about these couple of things wrong, I've spent like 20 minutes talking about things wrong and 40 minutes talking about things right. The thing is, that's because I love the game so much, and it's so close to being almost perfect. I adore this game. I really do. It looks pretty. The sound design is fantastic. Like, when I heard the rat before, the assassin, and it was like, there's an assassin around, you could hear that. Each special has a special sound, and you can tell when they're coming if you're paying attention. It's so good. They've put so much effort in, and it is so beautifully polished in terms of design. Yeah, it's got a couple of bugs here and there. There have been bugs about people being unable to really play the game properly because it has crashed because of the 1.4.0.2 update. But for all those sort of things, generally the game is absolutely fantastic, and I love it. I really do. This is a great game, and it's a co-op game, and I think that we need more co-op games in life. For a long period there, game companies stopped making co-op games. And I was just like, why? Co-op games are fun. It's one of the few things that I like to do in my spare time, if I have any spare time, is play co-op games with friends, because I have little time. I'd like to do stuff with friends. I'd like to be able to play some games that aren't YouTube related. Why can I do 2 at once? And it's nice that those things are coming back into vogue, and especially things like Vermintide, where you can team up and do different things. Classes are different, they have different abilities, and a lot of the games are being designed around that co-op feel, because, you know, each special tends to have an ability that will take one of you out until you help each other. Not each special, but probably 2/3 of them have those abilities. Let alone the normal teamwork stuff of you tank, I'll do damage and shoot. It's just a great game. Anyway, I'm going to go before I just blabber on about how much I love Vermintide for another 20 minutes, but I've been EnterElysium. If you like, not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Let me know down below if you want me to play more, if you want me to play more on stream, more in particular co-op, you want me to do more things like just finding grims and tomes, or talking about the game or the builds in general. I wanted to spend a good portion of this, I know, talking about like deep mechanics and like, oh, if you unlock this box then it does this, but that's because I as a player did not know that, but I found it extremely insightful when I found out. I found that very, very useful. So if you'd like me to talk about more mechanics, let me know. Or if you found a particular bit of this video interesting, and maybe you'd like me to do more things like this in future, not even maybe on Vermintide, do let me know, because that's really good feedback. This is not like one of my normal videos. This is a video of me basically fanboying about a game because I love it so much. It's not a strategy game, so it's not normally my forte, but hey, it's Warhammer, so I can dig that. But hell, I love this game so much. So let me know what you liked about this video if you did. Or if you didn't, let me know what you didn't like, I guess. And of course, until next time, stay shiny.